and welcome. Drop a one in the chat if you can hear me, and drop a one in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Okay, you can hear me. All right. Yes. Gotta make sure technology is doing what it's supposed to do. How technology when it gets ready to. Yes, welcome. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I am so grateful for each and every one of you here, for each and every one of you that will be able to watch the replay, for those that might be watching on YouTube. I just want to say welcome. As always, I say thank you for being here with me because you could have been anywhere else in the whole entire world, but you decided to jump on here with me on a Friday night, and for that I am so grateful. It is not by happenstance that you're here. I know that there's a reason that we are connected. So just I definitely challenge you to be open, have an open heart and an open mind for your experience here tonight. You are here at the She's Ready Society um meet and greet and mini healing experience. I am bringing back these healing experiences, something that I was doing before in my group, the Mental Wealth Social, but I'm bringing it back inside of my She's Ready Society community because they were such powerful experiences. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know what you do, where you're from, and what you hope to gain from this session tonight. Okay, again, you can drop it. You're over on YouTube. Feel free to drop it in the comment section. Let us know what you do, where you're from, and what you hope to gain from this session tonight. But again, welcome. Who am I? I'm going to try not to keep you here long. I am so excited, one, for this event tonight, but my baby brother, my youngest brother, he surprised us and came in town from Tennessee. And I got to meet my niece, my youngest niece, for the very first time. Well, not my youngest, because my other brother just had a baby, but my youngest brother's niece for the very first time. And they're all here at my house. So I'm excited for that. But like I said, I'm going to try not to keep you here long. But I wanted to introduce myself. I am Minister Jaleesa Hardy. I am a child of Yahuwah, aka God, and I am also known as the Golden Child. I am the co-organizer for the Mental Wealth Social, the organizer for Single Mom Society. I am a survivor and single mother of three. My children are 5, 4, and 2. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. I am a global speaker and trauma of money certified professional. I am a board certified holistic health practitioner, human design expert, and Reiki master. I am a publisher. I own a publishing company where I support women specifically with self-publishing their journals, books, ebooks, coloring book, coloring books, cookbooks, and the like. I am a 3-time self-published author of It's All in Me, My Journey to Freedom and Living Abundantly. Stay tuned. Edition 2 will be coming out early next year. And I recently self-published the 30-day Calm Life Planner. All of these are on Amazon as well as my website, jaleesahardy.com. I have a bachelor's degree in biology, general chemistry, and natural health. I am a poet, singer, and songwriter for the Voices of Survival Choir. It is Hope Works Choir here in Columbia, Maryland. I was born in Buffalo, New York. We're currently living in Glen Burnie, Maryland with my family. I'm a doula in training, and I am just Jaleesa. There's only one me in the whole entire world. There may be other women named Jaleesa, but there's only one person with my DNA, only one person with my fingerprint, only one person with my eye color content. All of those things is not only true about me, it's true about you. So if you are struggling or just trying to figure out what your purpose is to be you, the most authentic version of yourself. And my goal is to be here to guide you to be and see your most authentic self, uncover and release limiting beliefs, and unleash the golden child within you. Each of us has a golden child within us, just ready to soar and live life of peace, pleasure, and purpose. So that is a little bit about me. Let me check the chat to see what people have said in their introductions. I am Kristen. I am in finance, and I'm here to find spiritual peace and meet new people. Yes, I love it. Mariah, I'm an educator, and I'm here for connection and community. Yes, you are in the right space. I love it. Thank you, ladies. A little bit more about what I offer at the Golden Child. I have a few community spaces. One, as I mentioned, you're here to learn about She's Ready Society. The other space I have is called the Healed Money Movement, and that is a space I dedicate specifically to people that desire to heal and uplevel their relationship with money in order to create financial freedom and abundance. I have on my website, you can get your from manuscript to masterpiece, the pros and cons of self-publishing. This is a free guide that we created. I mentioned my 30-day Calm Life Planner. It's all in me, my book. I just recently recorded and made available for sale the How to Self-Publish with Ease masterclass that I did not too long ago on my website. When you go, as I mentioned, I'm a human design expert. You can get your free human design chart. And this past month, we started our 6 week book talk on It's All in Me. And it's literally 6 sessions. We're going through the book, we're going through the freedom framework, we're going through the concepts in the book, my story, your story, and how you can apply the freedom framework to your life. It is a free 6 week session. You can get the book or not get the book and still follow along. But again, the book is on Amazon, and with when you sign up, you get the introduction in the first chapter of the book. And then if you just want to figure out your self-publishing journey, the Birth Your Book consultation call is for you. You want to discuss how I might be able to support you. I have DIY. I try not to use the acronyms, but do it yourself, done with you and done for you self-publishing support. So we can discuss during this call what fits you, what fits your budget and your desires for your self-publishing journey. But again, all of these along with other information about me, about my journey, about how I became the Golden Child, all of that is on my website at jalisahardy.com. Does anybody have any questions about any of my offers before I move forward? If so, you can either come off mute or drop them in the chat. But this is a new occurrence. We definitely are looking to monetize our YouTube channel. So we need your help. It's free to support. You can go on YouTube at Delisa the Golden Child, subscribe, watch some videos, like, share the content. The first and second session of the book talk is there. So if you want to go back and catch up, I do my Freedom Fridays podcast there, which I'll be going live to record my next um episode after this. I have some other events on there. I did 2 Wellness Wonderland events. So it's a bunch of different content, a bunch of different information on there. But again, we are looking to monetize our YouTube channel. So again, it's free to support. Go on there, like, subscribe, share it with your friends to support our goal of monetizing our YouTube channel. So thank you in advance. And definitely turn on your post notifications. I don't necessarily have a schedule. I have days where I do my Freedom Fridays, and then on Saturdays I do something called Storytime Saturday, but I don't necessarily schedule a time. So if you turn on your post notifications, you won't miss it. And these are our upcoming events. We have a bunch of events coming up in December as well. So definitely on my website, jalisahardy.com/events. Everything is on there, as well as if you are a part of the Mental Wealth Social or Single Mom Society, all of the events are on there as well. November 24th, we have our Single Mom Society Support Social. The book talk that I mentioned, our next one is November 26th. The Black Woman Journal Social, our bi-weekly journal and socials. The next one is the 29th of this month, and then December 13th. So I'm jumping to February. And then our Grief Circle for Melanated Women, hosted by Black Girls Grieve, is December 5th. And I believe December 18th, we also have the Financial Therapy Circle It is now a paid event, but they have sliding scale tickets. So there is free tickets available as well still. And as I mentioned, I will be hosting more events in December. One of them will be by God's design. We'll be focusing on direction, clarity, and vision for 2025 in that event. And then another event where I will be sharing something new that I've been working on as far as energetic work and releasing limiting beliefs. And that event will be later on, or I'll say mid December. But yes, let's see. But before we get started, I want to pause. I know I just gave a lot of information about me, about what I do, different things that I'm doing. So I wanted to take a pause and just get grounded and get present. Take some time to take some deep breaths. Get um, just release whatever might have happened throughout this week. I know for me, this week was a roller coaster. I tell my friends, like, it's been a lot of high highs this week, but also a lot of low lows. So it's definitely been a roller coaster of a week. So I want to be intentional about pausing, taking time to breathe, being intentional about this space. And with your breath, always take what you need. I will say breathe in or breathe out. But again, if you need to take a deeper breath, feel free to do that, or a shorter breath, feel free to do that. Give yourself what you need in this moment. All right. Breathe in, release, breathe in, release, breathe in, release. We're going to do two more. Breathe in, release. Last one. Breathe in, and release. All right, you can flutter your eyes open if they are closed. You can stretch if you need to. Get reoriented to the room. And thank you so much for taking that time to breathe with me. I know I have the tendency to talk fast, so when I intentionally stop to breathe, it slows me down, slows my speaking down. Like I said, I'm originally from New York, so we talk fast, but being intentional about taking this pause to breathe, it slows me down. But if I get excited, I'll probably start talking fast again. So if I start talking too fast, feel free to drop in the chat. Slow down, Jaleesa, because I get it. Um, but I wanted to share the vision for She's Ready Society. She's Ready Society is a community where you're empowered to grow and succeed. Over the years, She's Ready Society has evolved. This was a vision that I received for a community space. I believe it was 2016. I was working with a coach, and we were working on, um, a business model that was sustainable for where I am as a mom at the time, as a wife and a mom. But more so now, it's been much more important for me as a single mom who homeschools her kids to be able to, one, still be able to make impact on people's lives, but also make income. So building out community spaces is something that right now has been my focus, and just something that feels more sustainable and doable for me in this season of life. And I just feel like community is much more impactful, especially when it comes to the healing and just the healing work that I do. So She's Ready Society was born from that desire to build spaces of community after realizing the impact that community has had on my life. If I didn't have my community, if I didn't have my support system, I don't know where I would be. I don't know, what I would have been able to accomplish. Community support, accountability, those things have truly been a blessing to me and what I've been able to accomplish and how I've been able to thrive in life overall. Um, so She's Ready Society is for you if you desire to self-publish, if you desire to build out a speaking career, and just really build generational wealth through self-publishing, whether it's ebooks, um, print books, planners, journals, those types of things. And a lot of times people feel like, oh, it takes X amount of time in order to do it. But literally, I helped one of my clients self-publish her journal in 2 weeks. And just with having support, with guidance, with, my team doing the work behind the scenes, it literally took us 2 weeks to go from manuscript to being a self-published product that she was already selling. So, if you've never thought about it, it's definitely something to think about as far as self-publishing and building out a speaking career, because those are things that you can do, things that people cannot take away from you. When you do a talk and record it, you have an event where you speak and it's recorded. Those are things that people cannot take away from you. You do a self-publishing project, that is something that you can sell into perpetuity and beyond, because it is something that even your lineage will continue to benefit from as far as the royalties. But She's Ready Society is a space to turn your passion into purpose and profit. It is here to support you with self-publishing projects, building wealth, and personal growth. As I mentioned, I'm a holistic health practitioner, so I don't just focus on building the wealth and completing these projects. I focus on building you up as a whole person, so that when the wealth does come, when the publicity and the fame, all of those things come, you're able to sustain and maintain it, and sustain and maintain your health, your mental wealth, your wholeness in those spaces and in that level of success and progress. And She's Ready Society is here to build connections, for us to build connections with like minded women committed to healing and abundance. Um, does anybody have any questions? I kind of mentioned the story. That's really the story behind She's Ready Society and where it came from and why now. More recently, I'll definitely say this shift came from, I was focused on single moms originally when I started this space and community, or I had the idea for it. I was fleshing it out. But more recently, getting back to developing the publishing company part of my brand, I decided to incorporate that inside of She's Ready Society as well. Um, I'm gonna pull up the website so you all can see what is included in She's Ready Society. Because we have two different tiers of it. Share this tab instead. That's so easy. So we have, as I mentioned, we have two tiers. There's general membership and gold membership. 99 a month or 9.99 for the year for general membership. Gold membership is 111 a month with the initial fee of 888 and 19.99 a year. The general membership, you get the monthly healing experience, which you'll be able to experience here tonight, a mini version of it. A private membership area where you have access to the community, you have access to me for support and connection. You have a membership vault where I'll be posting trainings, master classes, and other resources to support you with your journey, with your speaking, building wealth, and building out your self-publishing products and services. I'll do weekly trainings and prayers. You'll get book self-publishing co-working sessions that'll be dedicated to your time of writing or editing or just really fleshing out your self-publishing project, and then access to DIY digital products and events. As a bonus, you'll get a copy of the 30-day Calm Life Planner and then VIP pricing on individual coaching and support. If you sign up for the year, you'll get a human design mini reading under the general membership. For the gold membership, it is designed for those who are ready to take their journey to the next level with a more personalized support, exclusive resources, and hands-on mentorship. It includes everything in the general membership plus an initial consultation. As I mentioned, I focus on you as a whole entire person. So you get your human design meeting reading, a hair tissue analysis, and a review, plus 10% on discount on the recommended supplements that your hair tissue analysis indicates. It includes one formatted, done for you self-publishing product. So it includes the editing, the formatting, the design, and a customized marketing plan to help you launch your book or your project. One-on-one Telegram support. So you'll be able to access me one-on-one in Telegram to get additional support, accountability, and just ask any questions or work through any blocks if they come up throughout this process. You will be featured in the Golden Child communities, not just the free communities, but the paid communities as well that I mentioned. She's Ready Society and the Heal Money Movement, as well as Single Mom Society and the Mental Wealth Social. So it's literally built in where you have spaces to market and share your project and your gift. You get a virtual book launch where we plan to host your virtual book launch and really guide you through that process. And then we'll give you access to a wider audience through our podcast, as well as giving you access to a platform where you're able to get consistent podcast interviews. And then as a bonus, if you sign up for the year, you'll get an additional hair tissue mineral analysis towards the end of the year to show the difference between the first hair tissue analysis, once you get your recommended supplements, and then after what your body looks and feels like after that, based off of what your hair tissue analysis shows. And then it'll include a customized meal plan after the supplemental protocol. So that's what is included inside of She's Ready Society. We go back to this tab. I will drop the link in the chat, but I just wanted to give you all more information about what She's Ready Society entailed. Anybody have any questions about that before we move on? Let me check the chat. All right, so we did our grounding breath, but this is where we get into the healing experience of the evening. This Bloom self-exploration is something that I've been doing for years. I do this in different spaces. I do this with my accountability partners. This is how we check in and kind of see where we're at with different things and really acknowledging the things that we're celebrating, things that might be challenging, and where we're headed in different areas of our lives. So we're going to go through this Bloom self-exploration process as it pertains to our healing journey specifically. So we're going to start out with our rose. If you've never heard of this, like I said, this is something that I literally, probably somebody shared with me probably 7 or 8 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. Because our lives are so dynamic, but it's easy for us to focus on the challenges of the things that come up or different parts of our journey. But this gives us the opportunity to not only focus on the challenges, but really see how we can move forward from them and really acknowledge the things that we're celebrating. So again, this will be focusing on our healing journey. You can come off mute or drop it in the chat. What is the one thing you're celebrating about your healing journey? Let me make sure YouTube. Giving myself grace. Yes, I love it. That is so important because we often feel like we have to be perfect in our journey, we have to be perfect in our lives. So when we can intentionally give ourselves grace and know that we are exactly where we're meant to be right now in our journey, it makes life so much easier. Recently, I think last month, the topic for the mental health social was going from survival to surrender, because a lot of times we think about going from surviving to thriving, but when we intentionally go from survival to surrender, it makes the journey so much easier. It makes the journey so much more enjoyable because we're not so focused on the doing. We focus more on the being and just accepting and embracing where we are in our journey. God's not finished with me yet. Yes, I love it. Absolutely. Thankful for the people who showed up and double thankful for the ones who didn't show up. Girl. Oh, I'm about to. Yes, that part. Okay, I love that because that is something that we have been, we talked about, I think last week in the book talk about our support in our community, but we don't realize how much of a blessing it is for someone to leave or for us to leave someone in our lives, because relationships are for seasons, reasons, or lifetimes. And most of them are for seasons and reasons. Most of them will not make it to the lifetime category with us. So the more we can embrace and be grateful for the ones who didn't show up or the ones that left, it shows our growth and our love and our healing journey as well, but it also shows how much we realize that relationships, most of them are not meant to be around for a lifetime. So we get to release them and know that that chapter or that relationship is complete because we got the reason or the season is up. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that. For me, as far as my healing journey, I am definitely celebrating how I've been intentional about showing up for me, how I've been taking care of myself, giving myself time, giving myself space, and just showing up to do the things that I enjoy and sharing my gifts with the world. Like, man, just so many things have come up just from me showing up. Even this event, my YouTube channel, like all of those things came up just from me showing up and being still and saying, like, you know what, I'm going to continue to use my gifts, even if, my bank account don't always look the way that I want it to look. I'm going to continue to show up and share my gifts and share the things that God has given me, despite, what I feel should be the outcome or should be the income. So for me, just celebrating being in such a healed space where I continue to show up for me and I continue to show up for the people that God places in my life. So I'm very, very grateful and proud of myself for showing up consistently in these spaces and places for people to be able to experience the things that God has given me to share with the world. So that is what I'm celebrating. Let me see. Did anybody else want to share? You can come off mute or drop it in the chat. All right, so we can move on to the next part of this Bloom self exploration. So, again, we mentioned the challenges. So, what is your thorn? What is the one thing that's been a challenge recently about your healing journey? I'm trying to think. I've been in such a amazing space, but of course, it's always a challenge. Um, I think for me, the biggest challenge has been uncovering some of the limiting beliefs that have kept me stuck, that have kept me from living the life that I desire and that I know that I deserve. So uncovering them, realizing, these have been things that have been programmed really into my being that I didn't even know or recognize until I sat down to really do the work that I've been doing. Um, so that's been my biggest challenge in releasing those things and not staying stuck in those habits of those limiting beliefs. Um, Getting stuck in a cycle of negative thinking. Mm, I get it. I definitely get it. Again, it's that programming. We're programmed to focus on the negative, to be hyper fixated on the negative things, and our brains are literally wired to. It's like the the pathways of our brains are focused on those negative things, so it's hard to kind of fix our brains to focus on the positive things. But the more you attend things like this, the more you get around positive people, the more you remind yourself, okay, that was a negative thought, let me switch to something positive, let me even see what the message is. And I think a lot of times the more we kind of fight those negative thoughts that come up, the more we kind of miss the message, because there's a message that comes up from each negative thought. And it could be a warning, it could be just something that, even a message about somebody around you. But when we stop and kind of assess the negative thought and where it's coming from, we're kind of able to address it and shift it into a more positive direction in that way. Getting out of people pleasing mode, girl. I was talking about this in a podcast interview that I did earlier today. I mentioned I do something called human design. And one of the things about my energy type as manifesting generators is we're the biggest people pleasers, because we want people to like us, we want people to understand us, we want people to love us. But it's something that we've literally been conditioned to believe is the way to do things. Like with our parents. Okay, we do something, and good job, I love it, da, da, da. In school, we're literally groomed and conditioned to be people pleasers, because we're trying to get the good grades, we don't want to get in trouble, we don't want, we want to get on the honor roll, we want people to validate us and to like us and to love us. But the more we're aware of it, mm, the more we're able to step out of that and focus on pleasing ourselves and taking care of ourselves and being the version of ourselves that we desire to be, not the version of ourselves that people have taught us that we need to be, or the version of us that people will love, accept, and validate. So for me, as I mentioned, my desire, my goal, my mission is to support us as women. Of course, I say women, but I can support men too, but my passion is women, specifically Black women, because I am a Black woman and I understand our journeys as Black women. But supporting us with seeing and being our most authentic selves so that we can step out of people pleasing and step into the version of ourselves that we love, accept, and validate for ourselves. And if anybody else does it, it's just a bonus. It's just a cherry on top. Like, I don't need your validation. I don't need your acceptance, because I love, accept, and validate myself. So thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share their challenge? Did I share my challenge? I think I did. The next part of the Bloom self exploration process is your bud. Okay. Thank you, Kristen. Have a good night. What are you deciding today about your healing journey moving forward? What is it that you desire for your healing journey to look like? What is it that you're envisioning for yourself as far as your healing journey? And for me, I am deciding today that my healing journey gets to be fun. and easy. Yes, we've gone through some traumatic things, we've gone through some hard things, but I have to remind myself and other people that you have overcome 100% of your hardest days. Those experiences, those things that have happened to you and around you that you felt like you could not go on from, that you could not move forward from. And just looking back to see how much you've overcome, when challenges come, you say, okay, I'm built for this. I can do this. I can definitely overcome this because I've overcome XYZ. Sometimes it can be hard in the moment to see that and acknowledge that, especially when you're going through an experience that you really don't want to go through or something that somebody else brought into your life. But the more that you can look back and say, you know what? I have overcome 100% of my hardest days, and I will continue to do so. One day at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time. But as I mentioned, it gets to be fun and easy, but it takes community and support. It takes not always doing it alone, not always staying to yourself when things get hard, when things get difficult, when the negative thoughts start to come up and it feels like it's overwhelming you, or the grief comes up and it feels like if you allow yourself to feel it, it will overwhelm you, it will overtake you. But when you're in community, when you have support, when you have accountability, your healing journey can be fun and it can be easier than it would be alone. One space that I was in, they gave the analogy of trying to, you're moving, you have the heavy things like a couch. And if the next place you're moving into has stairs and you're trying to move this couch up the stairs by yourself, you might not even be able to do it, let alone it might take an hour or two to move this heavy couch up the stairs. But if you have those friends that you know are going to come and help and be able to help lift some of the load for you and carry some of the weight of the couch for you, it makes it so much easier. Something that might take you 2 hours can literally take you and two friends 20 minutes. And that's how it is with our healing journey. That's how it is with the heavy load, the heavy burdens that our life might come with. When we allow other people to lift some of that load or carry some of that load or hold some of that load for us, it becomes easier. But a lot of times we feel like, oh, I don't want to share what's going on because I don't want to be a burden. No, you're not being a burden to anyone that is there for you to support you and be a loving and supportive person in your life. They're not going to see it as a burden. They're not going to see you as a burden. They're going to actually see it as a gift of you coming to them, being vulnerable, you trusting them with the things that you're going through and experiencing. They're not going to see it as a burden. And if they do see it as a burden, then you know that's not your person. That's not your person that is here to support you on your healing journey. I'm no longer letting fear dictate my path. Yes, I love it. Yes, we are releasing fear. We are releasing self doubt. We are releasing insecurity. I love that, fun and easy. I was just telling my son that we need to find more joy, as I can't remember what that's like. So we'll start with adding the word fun, mustard size seed. Yes, I love it. Absolutely. We have to be intentional about finding joy, really exploring and trying new things because this easy life, the things that happen in life will suck the fun, will suck the joy out of you if you allow it to. So it's important for us to be intentional about things, finding joy, finding peace, finding things that are fun for us. And of course, just like anything, in life. It's trial and error. So you might try some things and you like, yeah, that wasn't for me. That was not my thing. But as you continue to try things and even in different seasons of your life, something that might have been fun for you in this season might not be fun for you in the next season. So continuing to try new things, being open to releasing things in your life so that you can make space for other things and other people to come into your life. It's all about the transition, the pivoting, and just allowing for the flow of life because it's ever changing. Life is ever changing. You are ever changing and growing. So try not to get stuck. Try not to marry things you are only meant to date. Okay. So yes, thank y'all so much for sharing. So that was our Rose Thorn Bud and She's Ready Society. The way that we'll do this, yes, we'll continue with the Rose Thorn Bud, but it'll be on specific topics or specific themes or specific things that the group decides that they want to work through as it pertains to this Bloom self exploration process. And it'll be more in depth because with the healing experience, we really look at the different areas of our lives. There's something called a life wheel. And you look at the different areas of your lives and really see which area you want to work on and tailor this Bloom self exploration to that area of your life that you want to work on. Was there anything anyone else wanted to share on this? How was this? Give me some feedback. Has anyone ever done this before? Something similar. Okay. I really enjoyed this. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you for that. Okay. So I talked about the freedom framework a little bit, and this comes from my book, It's All in Me, My Journey to Freedom and Living Abundantly. God gave me this as I was preparing this was even before I wrote my book. So I had this experience where I just felt led to share part of my testimony, and I shared it on Facebook, and that post led to opportunities, speaking engagements, led to people reaching out to me. And as I was preparing for one of the speaking engagements, God gave me this freedom framework, which eventually became the outline for my book as well as the foundation for my business. These are the values that I stand on for my personal life as well as my business. So this is something that has really supported me with overcoming and aligning my life to where God has for me to be. And I call it your healer's healing toolkit because we are all healers, but we all have the capability to heal, but we're also always healing from something. So this toolkit, this framework, this freedom framework will support you with really seeing and implementing things that will support you on your journey to healing and freedom. So the first thing being your faith, and whether you believe in God or a higher power source, whatever you call it, or if it's just focusing on your belief in yourself, having faith. Someone mentioned a mustard seed. Having faith for me has been the foundation of my life. Because had it not been for my mom's faith, I would not be before you today. I talked about my rebrand, my recent rebrand as of this year as the golden child. That came from my mom's experience with me when I was conceived. When I was conceived, my parents were on their way to getting a divorce. Of course, being grown, still being married, doing what grown people do, I ended up being a quote unquote oops baby. But in her experience, she had had three miscarriages before me, and my sister was born 3.5 years before me. She was born prematurely. So she had never carried a pregnancy full term. So when I came along, they told her that I would have Down syndrome, that I would be born without a stomach, and that my esophagus and my windpipe will be fused together. And in that experience, one of the nurses actually told her, you know what, the best option for you would be to have an abortion. She said, because if you are to make it through this pregnancy full term, your baby's going to need multiple surgeries to even have a chance at having a viable life. So they wrote me off before I even had a chance, before I was even at go. They wrote me off and gave up on me. But my mom, being a woman of faith, she decided that God had the final say. She went to church, she went to a revival, she let them know what was going on, the diagnosis from the doctors, and she had them pray over her and I. And during that experience, she said that all that she remembers is feeling like she was being lifted off of her feet and that God was pouring gold into her stomach. And when she went back to the doctor, they couldn't find anything wrong with me. So that experience and hearing that story just instilled in me the power of your faith and the power of your belief in a different outcome, the power of understanding and knowing that we all have the ability to heal. We all have the ability to heal ourselves, but it's just a matter of whether you believe it or not. So that is why faith is literally the first part of the freedom framework, because it was instilled in me to have faith. Because if it was not for my mother's faith, I would not be here. Because she could have believed what the doctor said. She could have believed what the report said. She could have believed what the test said. She could have believed what the nurse told her was the best option for her. But because she had faith and decided that my life was worth living, I am here before you today, not only sharing my story as the golden child, but to remind you that you are the golden child too. So faith is the first part of the freedom framework. So when you tap into that, everything else literally flows. The fellowship, the right relationships, the right people to come into your life to support and hold you accountable. The forgiveness, you're able to forgive not only yourself, but the people that have hurt you. The feeding your being, you're able to really tune in and tap into your being to see what it needs each moment and each day so that it is nourished and it's able to survive, to not only survive, but thrive in life and surrender to the places and the spaces that you might find yourself. And then, as I mentioned, fun. Fun is a part of this freedom framework because freedom gets to be fun. Healing gets to be fun, but we have to choose it. If we choose the higher path, if we choose the less enjoyable path, that is a choice. But we get to choose for our healing journey, our freedom journey to be fun. So that is the freedom framework. What is, I would say, which one of these parts of the framework resonated or stood out to you most? Yes, I call them tools in my tool belt. Absolutely. All of them. I love it. Fun for sure. Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, this literally, when I tell you, has been the foundation of my life, the foundation of my business. When I go back, even like recently going back over the chapters of my book for the book talk, it's like, man, like these things have gotten me through some very difficult and challenging times of my life. Even recently, not realizing that when I wrote this book, it was what was going to help get me free from the abusive marriage that I was about to enter into. I literally self published my book in February of 2018 and got into an abusive marriage August of 2018. And this book and this freedom framework is what helped me to get out of that marriage with my sanity, to get out of that marriage with my faith still intact, to get out of that marriage and still have a positive relationship with the father of my children, because I've been able to forgive, because I've been able to feed my being what it needs in order to heal from the experiences that I had with him. And my faith, first and foremost, was what helped me get through and know that God had not given up on me just because I had made a wrong decision in marrying him, knowing that I shouldn't have. So for me, this framework is literally what has kept me alive through the different traumatic experiences that I've had in my lifetime. So it is 7:57, and I wanted to give you an assignment. I call it home play. I don't like homework. but it's for you to set your intentions and secure your accountability. Whether it's your self-publishing project, your speaking career, your goal that you want to accomplish before the end of the year, reflect on that goal, reflect on that desire, reflect on that thing that you want to accomplish. Write it down. Write down your intentions for completing it. You might, if you come up with some action steps, do that. But writing down your intention, writing it down will help you to it gives it some, I don't know what to call it, but it gives it some legs, okay? Because it's not just in your head. You've written it down. That pen to paper activity helps to integrate and remind you of the thing that you desire to do. And then the third thing is to identify an accountability partner or a strategy to stay on track. It might be having an accountability group. It might be posting it on social media, which you desire to do. It might be doing a video journal and listening to it every single day. But figure out some form of accountability and self-responsibility that is going to help you to stay on track for what you desire to do. And I can screenshot this and drop it in the chat so you can take it home. Okay, so I just dropped that in the chat so you can save that photo and take it with you. Here's my munchkins. Does anybody have any questions, any feedback, any comments about the mini healing experience that we went through, the home play assignment, anything like that? I'm gonna drop the feedback forms here as well. It was my munchkins, if you can hear them. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So at this time, I want to give you all, I'm not going to need much. Do you have email list for future Zoom meetings? We can be added to. Yes. Yes. I will the drop my website where you can sign up for my email list. I send out weekly reminders of the different events that I have. And on my website, all of my events are on there as well. But I should have put this up before. My feedback form. It might be in my other drive. But at this time, I want to give you all the opportunity to share what it is that you have going on, whether it's a business, a hobby, a social media event, an offer, an event that you have coming up, and even discuss ideas for collaborations, something that you might do or a resource that you might have. Feel free to share that at this time, something that you might just want to share as it pertains to anything that I share, a resource, a tool that you might be able to use. But I would love for you all to share at this time. You could either come off mute or share it in the chat, because this, for me, I love being able to not only share what I'm doing, but share and support you all. As I mentioned, I do have the two groups, the two paid memberships as well as the two free membership spaces, the Mental Health Social and Single Mom Society. In those spaces, I give people the opportunity to have events, host workshops, host master classes, do different things that they desire to get feedback and support around. So at any time, if you have an event that you're hosting or co-hosting or even thinking about doing, those spaces are available for that. But it's not just about me sharing what I do or what I have to offer. I always want to give the people that attend the space and the opportunity to share, because you never know what somebody else might have. No, not right now, okay. That might be able to support or help someone else.
Hi, too much to type, so I'm gonna speak.
Go ahead, ma'am.
So I'm just also transitioning into getting into back into, I don't know what I'm supposed to do or what I don't know. I don't like that find your purpose, because we're already born with a purpose, I believe. And every day that we live and the kind of life that we live, whatever it looks like, a yelling match at home or a peaceful home or whatever it is the purpose that we're living. Because I don't know, in my religion, I'm Sikh, by the way, Punjabi Sikh. We have a belief system that our life's already planned for us, and people we're going to meet, we know we're going to meet, and the situations are already going to be happening. And I'm trying to actually sit in that and release certain situations in my life and say, okay, that's okay. That's the will of God. So recently, and then also because I haven't worked in 15 years, I've worked, but not your traditional work. And like you, also homeschooled my son for 3 years, and then he decided to go back to school. I have an only child, and we live in a area where there's no young kids, so I can kind of understand. So one of the opportunities that have fallen in my lap, although I don't have a degree in it, but life lessons and lots of seminars, lots of programs I've done over the years landed me a position with a company. They have a lot of psychologists that work there, psychiatrists, psychologists. So I will be there as a life coach. And so I'm not sure, because I never even thought I would get an interview, let alone, like it's like I haven't made a resume. I haven't had a formal job interview. I haven't even written a resume. And like, even my last job 15 years ago was easy peasy, fell into my lap. I worked at MAC Cosmetics. I know everyone's gonna want to know the MAC secrets. So just getting through creating a resume, a cover letter, and getting a job interview was like the icing for me. But I got the position. I'm very, very excited, nervous, excited. So maybe, I don't know, like I would love to learn or help support whenever an event, if you're putting up an event, just so I can gain some experience and learn. I'm just putting it out there because I know there's a lot of people like me, and we're transitioning. I'm just going to be a new single mom as well. And I had a really traumatic situation that created the single mom. So really trying to claw my way out of the whole, thank God for all the tools I learned for the last 15 years, thank God. And thank you to my son's father for pushing me into some of those seminars and some of those things so that I would have all these tools today. And so financially, you get like thrown into a completely different situation. I'm like, I just want to be able to pay the mortgage this month, and everything else is an extra. So I want to be able to do the same for other people, because it's been really challenging to find a community or people to kind of bounce off of each other, teach and learn, because even though we may become teachers, we're always students. You're on mute, Julie. Oh, sorry, maybe that's why.
Talking in the amen.
Yeah, I'm actually not even sure if what I'm saying makes sense, but I don't know. Just like learn from each other, learn how to like, because I've always had that in my gut. Like, you know, I've always pushed my husband to be a speaker, and I always pushed him for certain things because of what he did. He has so much knowledge, he's educated. And I always felt like I don't have that, but because I don't have that kind of degree or whatever, you know, and we always equate a degree to knowledge, and you equate a degree to worth, like that the knowledge that you have is worthy, because, you know, your parents will listen to you, an MD over you, even though you probably have more knowledge and look the part. So, but I always had this burning desire in my gut. I always knew it. Like I always felt like, you know, I was meant to do something more. I was meant to speak. I'm meant to like heal people, or meant to do something bigger in life. So I feel like maybe God kicked me in a high gear and threw me here.
Yes, and that's exactly why I said in the beginning, it is not by happenstance or by mistake that you ended up here tonight. Like you literally could have been anywhere else tonight, but you ended up here in this room. So it's not by happenstance. I'm so glad that you're here. Sorry that that's your experience right now, but because you're here, like I said, the work was a hot mess. I tell you, it was definitely a challenging time for me. It started with having to get a protection order against my now ex-husband. So I definitely understand the traumatic experiences that come with going through a divorce, and not going from a certain type of lifestyle to really having to depend on yourself to provide for you and for your kids. So I definitely get it. Like I said, it's not by happenstance or coincidence that you're here, that God brought you here tonight. So definitely join my email list. You'll have my email address. So if you have any questions, or if you come up with any ideas as far as events that you want to host or co-host, or just bring into this space, feel free to reach out to me.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You will hear from me.
Yes, I love
And
it.
to support in any way I can as well.
Yes, we will definitely be in touch, because I know it's a lot. It's a lot more that we can do with the different groups that I have. But again, I'm only one person, so it's only but so much I can do. So we'll definitely be in touch for sure.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Thank you for.
Wow, girl, you saw the little emojis I was putting up there, but congratulations. I know, just after not working and getting back out into the workforce, it's a different experience. But
I was at the grocery store after, like, I kind of caught my breath, and I was gone to the grocery store with my son, and I'm like standing there waiting at the deli counter for the lady, and it was an elderly woman working there, and I'm like, had a little anxiety attack. I'm like, oh, I haven't worked in 15 years. I have no idea. I have to start from zero. Is that what I'm gonna do? Like, is that where my life is headed? I honestly had a little mini panic attack there. I was like, okay, get a grip, girl. Get a grip.
But you're not starting from zero. A lot of times we feel like that because it's something new, but the experiences that you've had, even being a mom, shoot, we life coaches as moms, okay?
That was actually one of my job description, like when they put your work experience. That was actually one of my work experience. The CEO of my family, I wrote down as
You are well equipped for the job. Without the degrees and certificates, you are well equipped for the job. And that's why God assigned it to you and in this season of your life. So trust and believe that He brought you to it. So He's going to continue to help you grow and flourish in that position. So you
thank
got
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tina Pam, not Pam, Tina Maria. Is it Maria or Mariah? Probably Mariah. Well, was there anything you ladies wanted to share before we wrapped it up? And, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all. But my website again is www.lisahardy.com. I have my events on there. I have my blog on there. The different ways to join the community. Um, free offers on there. So everything is on my website. But again, please, 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 go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can search at Delisa the Golden Child. Okay, Mariah. Okay. You are very welcome. But again, if there's anything that I can do to support you, if you have an event or something coming up, or just something that you want feedback on, or something that you want to learn, feel free to reach out to me. Um, but as always, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. This whole experience was an absolute blessing to just be able to share what I'm doing, where She's Ready Society is heading, and all the things that God is showing me about the path that He has me on. So just being here with you all tonight, being connected with you all, feel free to just continue the journey with me, whether it's a consultation call, human design reading, joining She's Ready Society or the Healed Money Movement. Again, it's not by happenstance that you were here tonight. Um, Even if you're just subscribing to the YouTube page, feel free to stay connected to me because there is so much that God has in store for you, so much that He has in store for me, and for us to do together. We are not meant to do life alone. We are not meant to do our healing journey alone. So stay connected and just know that as I always end all of my events, just know that I love you, I see you, and I'm so proud of you just for being you. You are enough just as you are. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being you. I would love to hear, drop one word in the chat that describes your experience here tonight so we can seal this event up with some continued positivity. Yes, Mariah, I love it. Community. Yes, baby. Again, thank you so much. That is all I have for you all tonight. I hope I cannot find my freaking um feedback form. But again, if you have any feedback for how we can improve this event or improve the space that you found this event on, feel free to give us any feedback. We have a bunch of events coming up. If you join my email list, you will get a reminder of the emails every Monday, of the events every Monday. But that's all I have for you all tonight. Again, as always, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. And hopefully I will see you at the next event. Good night, ladies.